Salutations readers, welcome back to the Citigo Writer channel. My name is Nkechi, and for today, I am doing the Blackathon 2024 TBR video. Now, if you do not know what Blackathon is, it's just a readathon where we read books written by Black authors, and it's a readathon created and hosted by Jesse from Jesse on YouTube. I will tag them, link them down below in the description if you've not already subscribed to them, watch their videos. I'll also link their announcement video down below. So if you want more further questions, more thoughts and stuff in regards to the prompts and stuff, Instagram challenge, all that stuff is linked down below. And this year's theme is simplicity. There's just a lot going on in the world, and I think it just makes sense to pretty much just have things just be a little bit more simple. So it won't be really teams or anything like that. There's just going to be 6 main prompts, and there'll be 2 group books as like a 7th prompt or something. I'm only planning to really read one of them. And for this TBR video, it's going to be a little bit different, because I'm going to actually quickly go through these books because I actually have a lot of books that I want to put on my TBR, to the point that I have 2 separate TBRs. I have a main TBR that fits really the prompts and some priority reads. And then I have some like hopefuls that like, hey, just in case I DNF something or if I have time within the month to read certain books, then I have them. So I'm going to quickly go over the ones that are part of like the actual prompts. And then I'll quickly go over the ones that are like hopefuls, because I have a lot of books to get through and I don't want to be here for so long. And this is my 3rd time recording this video, so I'm a little bit agitated because of that. So I'm just going to try and quickly get through this stuff, honestly, again. So as far as my main, pretty ambitious TBR, I have about 10 books, honestly, which is definitely very, very ambitious. Truly. But I'm just really excited, honestly, for this year and for participating again, since last year was such a success as far as number of books, but also quality as well. So let's just get into it. Okay, first up, the very first book I have was to fit the read a book by a Sudanese author called Ghost Season. It came out last year, and it follows 5 people in regards to a conflict around the Sudanese border. It sounded really interesting. I saw it on a bookstagram post in regards to books written by Sudanese authors, and I was very curious about it. It seemed interesting. I liked the cover, and I was like, you know what? I shall read. So I'm borrowing it from my library, and it's already on its way. Next up, I have Almost There, which I'm reading for the colors on cover. So read a book with black, red, and green on the cover. This one is a twisted tale in regards to what would happen if Tiana made a deal that changed everything. I heard about it because of Harry, and I'm always here to try anything that Harry likes to read, and especially if I'm interested in it as well. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just give this a shot. It's an adult. I'm just here just for Tiana really content. So I'm just excited for it because why not? Next is to read a book that is dual or multi-POV. And then I have Delicious Monsters. This is dual POV. We feature 2 black girls and varying timelines, actually. And they both deal with pretty heavy stuff. In fact, there is an author's note at the beginning of the novel here that does provide content warnings. But I've heard such amazing things from Jesse, but also Dana as well. And since both of them really, really enjoyed this, I'm just like, yes, now I must read this as well. I just gotta. Then here on my Kindle, I have 2 e-arcs that I really, really plan to read, since both of them are like less than 200 pages, so I think I'll get to them. One of them is The Dead Cat Tail Assassins by P.J. Clark. This is a book that comes out April 23rd. It's a fantasy novella following a group of assassins. That's pretty much it, and that's all I need to know. I don't need to know anymore because I've thoroughly enjoyed a lot of P.J. Clark's work last year, so I'm here to read more of his work this year. Then I have Lost Ark Dreaming by Sui Davis Okomboa. This is his newest novella, sci-fi novel, climate fiction. I really did not know much about it when I heard about it and requested it, but honestly, I was just like, this is novella. Tor.com and I tend to really work really well with each other, and I've never read anything from this author before, but I think this would be a very interesting introduction to it. But I am just looking forward to reading it since it just sounded pretty cool anyways. And then I also have Victor Laval's Destroyer, and that's for the prompt of read a black comic or graphic novel, which I really don't read. I don't tend to gravitate towards comics and graphic novels, but I just heard of this one because of Jesse. And what really got me, though, was the fact that this was a Frankenstein retelling. So I'm just like, well, I'm practically sold, and they love Victor Laval's work. I've never read anything from Victor Laval, but maybe this is just a good way to start off with his work. And then for the other prompt is to read a book recommended to you by a black bookstagrammer, black booktuber. And I have Out There Screaming, an anthology of new black horror, edited by Jordan Peele. This is a book that I tried to read last year. I soft DNF'd it. But this year, I am thoroughly excited to read this. And especially since I actually bought my own copy because I really enjoyed most of the 8 short stories that I've already read so far. And And I'm very much looking forward to reading this as well. And then as far as the final prompt, which is really just read a group book, there are two. So one of them is Bless the Blood, a cancer memoir, which I do not own. And I don't know if I'll be able to read it in time. So I decided to then read instead Vagabonds by Egolosa Usonde. This is a queer litfic. I think it's actually a debut novel as well, but it came out in 2022. I tried to read it in 2022. I did have the it, but I knew not to unhaul it from my shelf because I knew that this is something that I would thoroughly enjoy and thoroughly would love. I don't really know much about it. I just know that it follows, I think it's an interconnected vignettes, but it takes place in Nigeria, and I'm just like, why not? And it's also very much spiritual, written by a Nigerian author, so I'm practically sold at this point. What else do I need to know? So that's for main stuff, but as far as priority reads, I also have Stars in Your Eyes by Case and Calendar. This is the NB Book Club pick for February, hosted by Jesse from Jesse on YouTube. Very much looking forward to this one. It's a contemporary queer romance. It has girlfriend sunshine tropes, fake dating, but I also have heard that this is a pretty heavy read. It did come out last year, so I've at least seen a couple of reviews, and it seems like a pretty heavy romance. This is my first foray actually into Case and Calendar's adult work. I know they write middle grade, young adult, and adult, but this is my first time ever reading from their adult stuff. So let's see how this one goes for me. And I do have the audiobook for it, so looking forward to reading it via audio. And then there is The Reformatory by Tanana Revdu. Tanana Revdu's most recent work as well. And this is for Jesse's Patreon book club pick for February, and I'm very much looking forward to reading that. I'm just so excited to try this book again because I had a little bit of trouble for January to read it, so I'm going to try it again via audio. So I'm going to use a Libro FM credit to actually buy the audiobook. So this is pretty much my ambitious main TBR for Blackathon, and I really am hoping to get through all these books, especially the Invisible Library books here, audio and physical, that I'm hoping to get pretty soon. So yeah, this is pretty much my main TBR here, including my Kindle for some Kindle reads. But now let's just get actually into the books that I have. These are hopefuls I'm hoping to get into, but I also see myself really probably prioritizing a couple of them. So this is practically a sidebar / backup TBR. So let's just start with the ones that I have on my Kindle. So first up, I have Only for the Weak, which is I think by Natasha Bishop. This is on KU. It's pretty much following the bridesmaid who sleeps with the best man. It was only supposed to be for a week, but things don't be lasting only for the week now. I've heard really good things about it on bookstagram, so I'm hoping this will work for me because, romance be hit or miss, but I'm hoping this is more of a hit. And then a book that I do have on my Kindle, but I do also have borrowed from my library, at least a physical copy, is The Grim Reaper's Lawyer by Mia Monique. Sorry again for the sticker stuff on my library. But this was actually a book that I heard of because of Harry from Harry on a Hook. And this is just a fantasy romance where we meet this lawyer named Joyce, who, when she died, she was hoping she was going to go to heaven, but she ends up meeting the Grim Reaper, and he needs her to represent him in this Grim Reaper's court. And if she don't do that, then she's going to go to hell. So obviously she has to be the lawyer now. She has to be, because who the heck wants to be in hell? And they strike up a romance somehow. So yeah, and I think it's the first in a series. I think there's supposed to be a sequel coming out later this year, so we'll see how this one works for me. But then also on my Kindle, I do have Outdrawn, which I've been seeing a lot of buzz on Bookstagram. This is a sapphic rivals to lovers, academic rivals to lovers. So I'm like, okay. I'm mostly for sapphic. I am here for rivals to lovers, but I especially appreciate if it's more academic rivals to lovers. Then as far as 2024 releases, I do have the physical arc of The Truth of the Eleke by Moses Use Utomi. I did read The Lies of the Jungle last year. I won an Instagram giveaway just like I did with this one, and I really enjoyed that one, and I'm really looking forward to reading this sequel here. And then I have Lore of the Wilds by Annalisa Brana. This is actually a book that I got from Status Fiction Box, so I did get the book a little bit early, but it is traditionally published, and it will come out in February 27th. And as far as what I know this is fantasy romance. It's a debut, and in the traditional way, it's going to be a first into duology. So now we're looking forward to that, honestly. One thing, though, that's really been making me hesitant, though, with this one specifically is the fact that it's enemies to lovers and love triangle. But I'm here to give it a shot because Black author, Black Fae, hello, especially Black author writing fantasy romance. Not a lot, y'all. They ain't a lot. So for this one, and also The Grim Reaper's Lawyer, so there ain't a lot, especially that one's gonna be traditionally published. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just here just to give this a shot, and I'm hoping for it to be a win. And then I do plan to read, hopefully, I'm hoping to read a couple classics for Blackathon, because I did manage to read classics last year for Blackathon, so we shall see. And it's for the same authors too. So last year I read a Toni Morrison, which was Sula. This year I want to read her third novel, Song of Solomon. So again, I don't know really much on the actual synopsis. I just think we're following this guy named Milk Men Dead, who says something about he's trying to fly, and it's a coming of age tale? I don't know, y'all. I don't really know what this is about. I have to read the foreword to even to get a glimpse of what this is about, but that's all I know. And yeah, I don't really need to know too much, honestly, because what is there really to know? This is a Toni Morrison novel. Just read it. And then I have a James Baldwin, just like last year. Last year was Giovanni's Room. This year will be Go Tell It on the Mountain. This is his debut novel. And this is also for my self-destruct TBR. So I do want to at least get a little bit of a dent into that TBR as well. I don't know much about this one. It's just says here, with lyrical precision, psychological directness, resonates symbolic power in a rage that is at once unrelenting and compassionate. Baldwin chronicles a 14-year-old boy's discovery one Saturday in March 1935 of the terms of his identity as a stepson of the minister of a storefront Pentecostal church in Harlem. I think this is another queer classic, so we're here. And last, but certainly not least, I have David Mongo, God Hunter, by Sui Davis Okumbowa. This one, though, has me so intrigued based on the fact that we are following David Mongo, who is a god hunter and demigod. And he has one task: to capture two of the most powerful gods in the city and deliver them to the wizard gangster Lukman Ajala. Now, this takes place in like a fantastical Lagos, Nigeria, which sounds so cool. But also, I think one of the blurbs in the back, which unfortunately is blocked by the sticker here, but I think on Storycover showed that this is like a Nigerian god punk, which I'm like, hold up, god punk? Never heard of it, but now I must find. Like, now this is a huge, now this sounds like a buzzword. That sounds so fascinating. I want to read something like that. So based on that alone, makes me go, I must read this. And I think this is his debut. But anyways, this is the main TBR, including some hopefuls. And also, you gotta imagine some of the library books that I don't already have physically in the audiobooks. But this is practically what I plan to read for Blackathon. This is a lot of books, y'all. This is a lot. And it includes all of the stuff that's in my Kindle, as far as arcs and Kindle books. It's a lot. But anyways, yeah, that's practically just my entire TBR, honestly. I'm just really excited to get through everything. I really am hopeful, though, for the Black Classics, the anthology, some arcs as well. I really want to prioritize on the arcs, and also book club picks as well. So, like Stars in Your Eyes, The Reformatory, Out There Screaming, all that stuff. I'm very, very hopeful to get through all of them. But yeah, that's pretty much really it. Now, if y'all are participating in Blackathon, please let me know in the comments down below. What is y'all's TBRs? I'm very, very curious. I really want to know what y'all plan to read. Or maybe if I introduce y'all to things that maybe y'all want to read as well for Blackathon. Comment down below your thoughts on the books that I chose. If you've read them, have any thoughts, or you're anticipating for like the arcs that I'm gonna read. Also, if you made this far into the video, but you don't have much else to say, you just want to leave an emoji, leave me a black heart emoji. But anyways, thank you all for coming out to this video, and I hope to see you on my next one.